What is up, guys? What is up? What is up? What is up? I am going to be interviewing the iconic Escada. Hey, hey, get it, wow. But yes, I'm really excited about this, you guys. Like, it's such an honor. Y'all like my little gold that I just brought and paid for? But I am so happy about this. As you know, ballroom, I always felt like ballroom was something different when I was pertaining to my homosexuality. What's up, you guys? And as I watched Pose and got to know more about it, I learned to appreciate ballroom because actually, in all reality, it really helped get us to where we are now. So, you guys, like I said, I'm very excited to be interviewing the one and only London Escada, and he has joined the live. So let me get him on in here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, Linda, I just sent it to you. But sometimes you guys know Instagram really, I really miss being in the studio, no shade. Instagram is okay, but it ain't nothing like being in the studio. Okay. What's up, you guys? Make sure y'all share it. Hey,
Oh my God, how you
hey.
doing?
How are you? I'm gonna clean out.
Hey, Rodney. We here in the building.
Yes, hold on. Hey, teach my
Oh, straight to the side. And then,
Yes, I am here for it. Like, I was just telling everybody about you, like how ballroom really taught me something different. Because coming from Mississippi and from the South, I always feel like I'm not that type of gay. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm not a ballroom type gay. I don't do that. And kind of find out, and when I did my research, ballroom was the one who helped, LGBT rights come into fruition. And I was like,
right.
that's everything. But for the people who don't know you, can you please tell them who you are?
Yes, I am London Escada. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, but I'm originally from Springfield, Mass, which is the kind of like western of Boston. And I kind of joined the ballroom scene through Vogue Evolution. I've seen it on America's Best Dance Crew in 2008. So like you gotta kind of get into the history of it because they kind of changed the whole movement of how ballroom went. Because ballroom used to be like underground. So for them to go on a
Yeah.
competition show and showcase it, I kind of got into the whole femininity and masculine. So it kind of inspired me to kind of like get into it. 'Cause I kind of left my whole life behind. I kind of had like my little dance teaching. I was teaching hip hop and stuff like that at the time.
So you did a
And,
Gladys Knight. You was leaving in the midnight train of Georgia.
and mind you, I actually took a train to Boston, actually getting off of work. And my friend was like, oh my God, Leomi and them from America's Best Dance Crew is going to be in Boston. So I was like, oh my God, let me get on the train, get straight to Boston. I got there, I met the icons. From there, I kind of had like this passion that was sparked into me and wanted to learn about the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into the ballroom, there is like loads and loads of like rich history of how we have been kind of in the industry, but then also like still in the shadows. You get what I mean? Like a lot of people, like a lot of artists these days use a lot of like ballroom things, like
They really do. The
fashion,
duck walk especially.
the lingo, so I kind of had to learn that before actually competing and trying to like, earn my name because I wanted to make sure I earned my lane the right way. So ballroom is just such a big community and culture that you have to. Whew,
So
I can
why
go
did the
all.
other house mother say y'all was new to this? You remember that scene when she was like, y'all new?
Oh,
And you've
we're
been doing
virgins.
this.
Exactly, and that's why I kind of like addressed it, kind of like I want to say last Friday, and I just like she kind of set a tone of a lie for ballroom because a virgin is a person that comes into the scene and only been in it for a year. So I've been in it for this is my 10th year. So and I traveled and I've been into Baltimore, I've been into to New York, Philly, and just the fact of her trying to bring up a status at the moment where she could have just gracefully bowed out, and
She really could have, because Mama thought she was gonna win.
yeah, Mom, she was just like, I want more than the rest. I said, not this trip. So
Mama played for like this, but they said she was like,
mind you, she didn't want to say that, but when you're in ballroom mode, you kind of like go to the, go for somebody's juggler, and I kind of understand where she was coming from, but at the same time, baby, we need to have facts. We have to have facts if you're going to be out here.
She didn't have her receipt book ready. She
She forgot I have my book right here.
Oh my God. So let's play a little game of this and that just to like open up,
all right,
the room. Tyler Perry, Oprah, or Oprah?
Oh my God, that's hard. I will go with Oprah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Oprah.
Freddy Krueger or Lord, I'm sorry, Freddy Krueger or Jason?
I'm gonna go with Freddy because he's more of like going to the dreams, going to your nightmares. Jason is scared of water. If you pour a little tub water on the floor, he's out of there.
Okay, this gonna be a good one. Nicki Minaj or Meg Thee Stallion?
Oh. Rodney. Okay, well, my baby, I'm always gonna be with Nicki. Team Nicki always. But Stallion, I know, baby, you are the princess. I see you, baby girl. I know you're best friends.
It is okay. It is okay. So, how is it? What does a house mean to you? What is the meaning of a house to you?
A house to me is the lifestyle you want to endure. Because when I came to Escada, I came because of the image and the way of the family was. The way that they just take care of each other, but it's not through politics. It's not through, it's not because of you knowing somebody. I feel like for Escada, for me, is a place that you have to be independent, work hard, really go for your goals. And then also you have to, our main number one rule is your real life first and ballroom second. Okay. So it kind of keeps you on track, kind of like, you have to always concentrate on your real life and have a balance. Because our house was built off of Be More. I said Be More. Morehouse in Atlanta. Morehouse in Atlanta, we're very like a college-based house, and everybody came together. Everything was about fashion and style. So for me, a house, you have to have the whole image and background for me. It's the whole culture and how you bring yourself up in a family with other members. And I feel like there's other houses that are business, and they're more like they're there for the wins, the trophies, and the moments, but they're like kind of missing the family aspect. So you got to be very careful in choosing houses. You have to make sure like the background, the history of it, how it became, and like how they keep their structure of their home.
Yes, because your house was very family oriented, and I really love that about you guys. And I forgot the little your child's name, but I think he's Puerto Rican or something. Twilight. I said that's a firecracker.
I called him my fireball.
I said he was like, Mother, you ain't gonna say nothing. You can make some substitute. I was like, yes, speak up. Yes. Listen, so why do you let him, I guess, for me, from a viewer standpoint, take control of that situation? Because, we only saw what they put out. So how do you feel? Did it really go that way when it came to the show, that last scene? Yeah,
he's very, like, whenever Twilight feels a certain way, he's going to address it. Like, and I feel like, when in my experience, you have to let people go through their own experiences. I can't stop somebody else's growth, because I feel like when you butt in and not let the person speak their mind, it's like a killer from the start. You know what I mean? Because you're kind of like ruining like their creativity and how they are. And like for me, I like everybody to bring what they have to the table. So when they had that conversation, I really wanted Jamari to understand where Twilight is coming from, and not because like like when somebody else butts in, it's kind of like a attack, like, oh, that's just because your daughter. I really wanted them to have that one-on-one talk so they can understand that both of them are feeling a certain way, and this is how I feel, and I'm going to confront it, and we're going to talk about it and get through it. And that's the reason why on game day, we're so, we're so together because we went through everything. We kind of released that energy. We had the conversation that we needed to have. And then after that, it was just like Jamari, he kind of took like the back seat a little bit and let us like, do our thing. And that's what made like the beauty of it all, especially on episode 8. Like that's the reason why ESCADA, when we came together, it was just like magic and the
Yes.
vibes,
And y'all really blended y'all house together, and I really love that too as well. And like sometimes in ballroom, I felt like y'all had y'all little nitpicks, y'all little sayings, but y'all truly loved each other. It was really unity.
Yes.
So how was it when you guys got picked? How was that process going for the legendary of HBOMax?
Well, so I was teaching workshops in Boston, Massachusetts, and I finally had an opportunity to make a family in a college. And so why I did that, it made a collegiate house as me and Chris, which is my management. Me and him came together. He's from Eagle, from Emerson College in Boston. And we ended up making a whole house there, and it kind of went on an article. And once it hit that, they kind of, Legendary was looking for people. They were looking for talent and, searching all over the place. And they hit up Chris, and they were like, hey, we saw London teaching the class and stuff like that. They end up, forwarding the messages. Okay. Start having the split and everything. And once we start, like, our first process was like, you have to make sure you do your Skype call, make it through that. Then they ask you like a bunch of questions of like, who's your rival, who's like, just things in your life that's going on. And once you make it past that, you have to go through a mental test, make sure you're, mentally stable
Oh, wow,
to be on the show, stuff like that. So I felt like the process was real deep getting into it. It was real like a process, and it was like 2 months. And then I would say, I would say like around Thanksgiving, I got the email, and they were like, welcome to Legendary. And then we had to have like, a big talk on the line and meet all the heads of the departments. And so that was like really awesome to like, go through all that process and meet people and, bonds that's going to last forever, So
That's, to be like, it would just, I really love how TV and film is going to really shed a light on our community, because I feel like we gave so much to the culture, and it's finally good to see us be represented. And I was just like, wow. So who
beautiful.
who you feel like your rival was on the show when it came to a house?
Wait, hold on. Robin. They always, but it's all love. It's all in ballroom and stuff like that. But honestly, like Erica said, when she saw Balmain, she saw them as the best. As in the competition, we saw La Vin as like strong competition. So I felt like
like LaVine was good, but some I feel like they were good. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like they got too many first places. You know what I'm saying?
I would say that's because of the effect of, I call it, ballroom culture calls it the girlfriend panel, because Law was really fighting. You know what I mean? He was really like anything that like if La Vin wasn't winning, he didn't like it. If you noticed, like when it came down to the tag team, and he was like, "Oh, might as well get Popeyes," because he knew that La Gorgeous wasn't keeping up with ESCADA on that match. So then he made that comment. Then when it was me and Jamari, he's like, "Oh, y'all might as well pick up these coins and this cash and do what you want with it." And you get what I'm saying? Like every time the Lobbies were losing, he would have an attitude, and that's because he was fighting so hard for them to win. And I understand that you have your team, but in ballroom, you should always judge by what's presented in front of you. And I think that's one thing he always missed. But
Yeah.
You gotta rock with the punches.
So how was it working with LaRoche? He felt like he was just such the little Nene.
Yes, he thought he was the bad mama. Like he thought like him giving tough love would have us grow, but he has to understand that everybody's taught differently. So that's why if you're going to consider people anybody's kids, because I heard on an interview when he said something about, "Oh, these are my kids." No. Maybe some other ones are your kids, but you just always have to just know who you're dealing with and kind of attack that friendship. You know what I mean? So if you know one person doesn't like to be talked to, like how he talks to people, like when he's like, "Oh, I'm bored. I was thinking about Barney's." How's that supposed
What
to
I
help
said,
me?
I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "That was so rude."
Yeah, I was like, how is that supposed to help us grow? You're not even giving us a like criticism. You know, you're giving us like you're thinking about Barney's, and I also replied to him. I said, I know why you were thinking about Barney's because you're Rihanna's assistant. So you got to go get her some stuff. Like, go ahead, do your thing, Law. I'm sorry, baby, but I didn't know we was getting ready for Rihanna. I thought we was here for Legendary, but you know, I love him in the end because he gave that tough love. I ended up loving him towards the end, you know.
So when it came to the judging, how did you feel? Were you really nervous about it?
To be honest, I was comfortable because like
Okay.
the only reason why I was comfortable is because of I was content whenever it was my time or our time. Like if we had to go, I was content with that because just being on the show, it was just like, you know, we kind of this is a blessing, you know. So I felt
I'm pretty
like
sure you got some other networks coming after you.
I
Would you do a
hope.
reality show with Ballroom if it was,
Oh
up
yeah,
to you?
oh yeah, I would love that. I would love that. I would love to do
Okay.
that, and especially for the Boston area too. Like the ballroom here is not really as prominent as like New York and stuff. So
Yeah.
that reality would kind of build and grow this area and make it flourish.
Well, Bravo, you need to get right up on it.
Yeah, listen. Hello.
So for a child or little child who was watching that show, who was trying to find themselves, do you feel like you portrayed to the child what it is mean to be in the LGBT community?
Oh, yeah, I hope so. I mean, I just feel like being in a LGBT community, you just have to be yourself. You know, just be yourself to the max, till you don't even know yourself. Sometimes you got to be like, sometimes you have to soul search. But I feel like, yeah, definitely. I hope so. I hope somebody
Well,
kind of
you did a
sees.
good job. Yeah, I just
Thank
wanted to say,
you.
like, you really did a good job. Just like you was really family, and I like how you can switch. Like, you can give boy, and then you
Mm.
can give like Miss
A girl.
Mamas. Like, I was like, yes. So, like the last episode, like how you came out, you was holding your kid's hands. I was like, he better come
Yeah,
through.
those my
And
baby.
so, how do you get comfortable with doing that? Were you always that type of way? Like, how did you get into that type, like the other side of your brain,
Yeah.
and be comfortable with it?
You know what? I had to surround myself around people that were so comfortable that it made me uncomfortable at first, but
Uh-huh.
it made me understand how it is just to live your life. Because before I used to walk with like a hoodie on, because my parents and them didn't know that I was gay, and so I used to like scrunch it up and walk all the way behind them while they were like and like half girl, half boy, like kind of looking.
Yeah,
And then as I see them, they're just like, why do I need to change myself for society to accept me? You know what I mean?
that's
So
true.
then after that, I was just like, you know what? Whatever way I feel, like I can be masculine one day, because sometimes I just like to be really relaxed. But I'm a Gemini, so I have
Oh
my other
Lord, let me
side.
hang up this live right. Let me hit a Nene.
I'm a Gemini,
Oh my
so
God! So
I'm the one. I'm the the softer side of the Geminis. Thank God.
are you sure?
Yes, I promise. I promise. But I have like the girl side, and then I have my boy side, and I as time went on, I realized that they both coexist, and I felt like I can't downplay one side or over the other. So it's just a mix for me. Now I can just kind of like comfortably just mix it like together. Sometimes I can just be like right now, and then sometimes I really do have like a feminine heart that I really feel like that mother. You know what I mean? And I feel like I have like the little double D's on. You know, like, oh my God, my babies. But I just kind of fell in love with that. I fell in love with just, being in love with both sides.
So let's touch on I'll go back to your coming out story. How was it coming out for you, for somebody who watching who didn't see what you spoke about on the show?
For me, it was kind of like different because when your whole family, like, it's one thing like your mother's religious and like, everybody else is not or something. My whole family is like kind of like, Jehovah Witness, and Jehovah Witness is very, small things can get you very like, kind of like,
Disown,
not
right? They
disown, not,
disband you guys. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
like not disown, yeah, kind of like disown, like, because like, my aunt, she was really deeper into it, and my grandmother, since we lived with her, my grandmother loved us because she knew that we were in the house. She knows how we are. She knows that we're pure of heart. But when my aunt would come over, my grandmother would kind of, go upstairs, be upstairs because you can't be down here because, you know what I mean? They didn't want to show that they were allowing me to be free and of
That's
being the person that I
horrible.
wanted to be, So coming out, I kind of waited. I was like, let me wait until I'm able to, like, if things go wrong, I can at least, like, live on my own. And so I waited until I was, like, 18, 19, and I called my mom on Christmas, and I was just like,
Hey,
Merry
girl.
Christmas. I said, well, Ma, you know how he used to dress me up? Because my mom used to, actually, to be honest, my mom accepted it since the beginning. Like, as soon as I called her, she's like, I kind of figured it. She's like, but your bedroom was always messy, so she was like, I didn't figure that she was gay. So, but I was just like, Ma, yeah, I think I love guys, and I was in a relationship with a girl, a cis woman, for 5 years, and then I kind of like left that after my first year of college, and I just kind of realized how. I said, I want somebody to take me out for dinner. Like, I want somebody to open the door for me, So I had to like let that out and tell her. And once she understood, I felt like once I got her acceptance, I didn't really need anything else. And so I just kind of, I didn't really come out to like my grandfather or my grandmother because I just felt like just let them know me and let that naturally tell them. And so like as like my boyfriend would come, he would like come over and over, and they're like, that's not no roommate. He's coming over every time you're coming over. And I'm like, get the hint? Like, we're sleeping in the same bed.
Escada.
Like, surprise. So that was kind of like my coming out experience. So it's just like, I had to make sure I didn't, I don't want nobody to feel like I'm putting my my lifestyle on them. I want to make sure they are comfortable and like, we can meet at a comfortable ground. I know how my grandpa is 96, my grandmother's like 93.
That's
So
a
I know,
blessing.
right. I know you lived years ago, so I don't expect you to understand
Well,
what
they
I'm going
said a
through.
roaring 20s was something else.
Like, listen, listen.
That's what the word on the
That was
street
the
was.
era.
They was really out there,
Yeah, mind you, still hiding in the back. Come on.
So, Mr. Gemini.
Yes.
So, how is it with your dating life?
I don't even know. I just feel like right now, I feel like just I'm in love with somebody for 7 years, and I just feel like we're growing in different directions all the time,
Damn.
and I'm just I'm taking it one day at a one day at a time, basically, right now.
So, what do you tell people? So, I feel like you in like an entanglement. Do you want to say entanglement?
Like, we're at the red table.
So, what would you tell people who get success like you have and be on TV? How is it trying to like go navigate your relationship and being a star? Like, can
Yes.
you explain that for us?
It's definitely different because
Okay.
like you start getting a different type of attention in a way, and
Mm-hmm.
like you have to make sure that you have a connection with your other half to know who you are, know your instincts, and just know that you're always gonna be respectful. You know, you have to be respectful. It's okay to be nice and genuine. I mean, genuine, and that's good. But then just have your guidelines and make sure that you're having an open discussion with each other. And I think keeping yourself private sometimes your relationship, because
Yeah,
like
that's
I
true.
feel
Don't
like
post them. Do not post them. Whatever.
yes.
Don't be.
No, they say no face, no case. No face, no case. So
They gonna be like, oh,
oh, let me look this up. You have to keep it private. You have to, because like I said, you can show a little bit of your love, but some of your love, which is your private life, it has to be secret. Because if you give it all out, then when somebody gets with you, then what is the secret between you and that person? You know what I mean? So you always have to have that privacy between you and your spouse.
I agree with that. Like I tell people, you will never know. If you're not in
Yes.
these four walls
Yes.
of this apartment, you
This
will
pillow.
never know who I'm with. But
Listen.
thank you for the compliment in my DM.
You have to have that privacy, because people will get into your business, and then people don't understand the pillow talk sometimes that you have with your spouse.
Yes.
And so it's like they're coming from their experience, and they'll kind of put their experience on yours. So you have to go through your relationship through your view, because if you don't, you'll absorb somebody else's, and
I
it's
tell
all mess.
people, don't be trying to follow Jim and Joe, because Jim and Joe is not you.
Listen, and mind you, sometimes Jim and Joe don't even have a relationship, and they're trying to tell you something.
They're in a whole entanglement situation. Don't even.
Yeah. And a brothel. Go to the bathhouse. No, I'm playing outside.
Wait. They start their OnlyFans. But okay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
So, what would you want to tell someone who are pursuing to follow their dreams in the media industry, or dreams in period? What advice will you give them?
Stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself and work hard. And if the thing that you want to get into is your passion, you wouldn't worry about if you make it or not, because it should be something that you're doing from your heart. And if you made money from it or not, you'll still be in love and never regret the time that you put into it. I think that's the biggest thing.
I like that. So, what was like a low moment within your career where you felt like, damn, I done hit rock bottom?
Listen, the same year that Nikki had her hate train, I was going through some things. Listen, I felt like in 2018, I started realizing, because I started, in the barroom scene, everybody's like a big community and stuff. And I really wanted to be part of the growth of Boston and New England and stuff like that at the time. And I wanted to be accepted and be at the same table as all the legends and icons here. But I realized at that time that, because I threw this big event with Chris and everything, and they tried to do a boycott to like not go to my event because they felt like I was stepping on their toes or trying to erase their history. And I feel like I never came into this culture trying to erase anybody. I said, if you're part of history, then I can't erase that. History is here forever. So you need to embrace, and I felt like you need to have open arms and try not to shut people down before you get to know them. Because at that time, I started realizing that I couldn't, they were trying to, almost like Nikki, blackball me from doing workshops at certain facilities in here in Boston, because they were the face of that company. And so I felt like, well, when my brother did one in Connecticut, I never said no. You came right there with me. I felt like he's a different dramatics. He has a dramatic feel. I'm soft and kind. You know what I mean? So we're not the same. That's how I see it. But he sees it as we're in one category. And he felt like, since I accomplished a lot of things before him, and he's a legend of the scene, he feels like I'm trying to overshine him. But that's not what I'm trying to do.
And that's unfortunate. That's really
Yeah, and
unfortunate.
it kind of hurt me in a way because like I started people that I was trying to grow with, as in children and stuff. He was telling them like it's either me or him, and then I'm just like, why? And then so like business started getting crazy. Like I couldn't really like focus on like doing bigger things with the companies I wanted to. I had to kind of find my own, but with my own motivation to be like, okay, he closed that door, but I'm not gonna let this be the last door. So I started going, kept doing my own workshops. I started calling up this what do you call it? Dance complex in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and you can kind of call there and get like a schedule, kind of like a open space and stuff. Go there. I kind of made my little workshops, brought everybody there, taught them everything they needed to like to fill and use, and then after that, I started end up getting contracts with Trill Fit, and then like Trill Fit is a fitness area in Boston. For them to be into the voguing area and community, that's a big thing, you know. I'm kind of like dabbling into this like mainstream things now, and it was because of him closing that door, I would never been like doing all this stuff right now.
Let's stop that right there.
Yeah,
Because you do have some people who are AKA jealous, and it unfortunately people who you be the closest to. When people like you stepping on their toes, one thing I want to commend you on, you did not stop. You kept
right,
going, and you did the key word, open your own door and made your own way to get in there.
exactly.
And I feel like that is a great takeaway from that standpoint. So let's move on to something happy.
Yes.
What was the most proudest moment within your career thus far?
I would say, oh my God, maybe Legendary. You know what? Yes, Legendary really brought not just the five of us, but the whole house together. Like, to see how happy my family in every chapter is just because of our representation and just our, the way we all connected, because that's how we are in all chapters. So for them, they felt like they were there on the set with us. So it was kind of like just to see that energy in my house again is the best feeling ever, because I've been here for 10 years. I've seen this house go iconic in 2016. So it's just like, this is what I wanted the whole time. This is just all I wanted. I just wanted my family to be happy so we can get back to the floor and we can continue being proud of who we are, and not just because, oh, why you're in Escada. You know what I mean? Now people understand our family and how we are built
Well,
together.
y'all are that house.
We're built on love. We're built on love, and this is our foundation. And we're not going nowhere. We're iconic, and
And y'all were very attractive people. No shade to the other
thank
houses,
you.
but y'all were attractive.
You have a little piece of a little everything.
Somehow be like, oh, you got some nice shoes.
And the way
But
we
I
carry
love y'all.
ourselves is so different.
Yes. But I love y'all outfit design. How was that? Somebody just making what you wanted. How was that feeling? Cause y'all costumes.
That was magical.
Oh,
So
was everything.
Johnny, mind you, the thing is, remember I told you I was talking to the head of the board before we got, after our interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Me and Johnny got on our call because there's like 20 of us in the one room, and I'm like, and I felt Johnny's energy, and he was like, he's like, yeah, I can just let me know any images that you want. I can have it curated. I can sketch it up, and I just felt his energy from there. I was like, oh, Johnny, I said, we're gonna have a great relationship on this show. I promise you, because I can just feel your energy. So when we got there, like as soon as you put your image on that piece of paper, he fought his hardest to bring everything to life. And that right there was like magical. Cause I'm like, things that we were dreamed about, we was like, I had this memory, or the gods and stuff like that. We end up becoming that. And for us to take a piece of our memory or our dreams and put it on in reality and make it come to life was surreal. That was like, I was gagging for a minute. I was like, wait, is this real life? Or somebody...
Yeah, I was like, damn, this shit look...
I was like, this is not going to air.
Can I get a piece?
Mind you, I said, this is not going to even air because it just feels too good. When things feel too good, you're like, this is not going to even air out. Or I was like, something's going to happen. But it really happened. Everything really came to life, and it's a blessing.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I do want to talk about this. Not unfortunately, what is unfortunate, honestly. I feel you feel the same way. How do you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement, and how do you feel like you? It does you feel like do you feel like it represents you as well when they say all Black Lives Matter?
Well, I feel like All Black Lives Matter is a movement for people to know that we matter too. So I see it as that. I see it as like I'm no greater than you. You're not greater than me. We are as equal. So please treat us as that. You know what I mean? Like, if we're getting pulled over because we look suspicious, we need the other girls to get pulled over because they're looking suspicious. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I just feel like that movement has to be done. Because I feel like has been a lot of things that have been unsaid and unfinished business because people trying in higher power trying to sneak it under the rug and move on, and why lives like us, it kind of like, that's somebody's father, somebody's brother, somebody's sister. Sometimes they're even shooting in front of kids. Remember that guy that got shot in front of his daughter? It's just
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? And if you're scared of a certain situation, then maybe you shouldn't be in that field, because you have other things. You got mace, you have other things before a gun. So I just felt like this movement you have to destroy before you rebuild. So, I don't agree with the riots, but I agree with the stand for it. Like,
I mean, that's fine.
don't,
Everybody fight different. I fight in the polls. That's
yeah,
a vote.
yeah.
I'm a
Look,
voter. I won't be out
look,
there,
where is the money at?
yeah, I'm a voter. So, whole time, time's going by. So I want to leave you one last thing.
Yes.
How do you feel as a person, just being a public figure? Do you feel like you have the weight of the whole LGBT community?
Um, what I feel like is the weight, but I feel like I love it. I feel like I'm going to the gym and you're doing some bench presses and stuff, and you feel good after you work out. So I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like I'm fighting with them, and we're gonna make sure our culture and our community is done right. If I have to be a voice for that, I'll be it. But either way, I'm in the fight with everybody, and so I
Well,
feel
you
like.
are iconic. I have to let you know. So, what do
Thank
you
you.
have going on? Let's leave out. What do you have going? Can you tell people what's going on with you? How can they keep up with you? How can we, like, you can't take Escada,
Oh,
London?
it comes to a couple classes and stuff. You know what I mean? And, if you guys ever want to catch up, like with a workshop or just talk to me one-on-one time, you can go to www.londonescada.com, and then, or if you just want to go on Instagram, find me there. It's London Escada at my handle. But you can just hit me up on my website, and I can always come and talk with you, teach you some couple things, and whatever you guys want. So.
Well, London, I want to say thank you so much. I am truly honored. When you replied back, I was like, ah!
Listen, when I saw it, I was like, hold on. I went to go watch your shows and everything. I was like, oh, baby, the conversations are so deep, and I need this in my life. So thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Well, I'm honored for you being on here, like London. You just don't know like how happy I was, and I really chose to interview you because like I just love what your house stood for, and I love that it
Thank
was
you.
unified. It wasn't all black. You had different cultures in there,
Yes.
and your house really to me represented the whole LGBT community
Yes.
because we're black, white. You didn't have Asian in there, but you
But
get what I'm saying.
right,
But
right.
your house was more than just one race, and that was beautiful. And I liked what you guys stood for, and like I said earlier, how you could be feminine and then masculine. Like I love that because
Yes.
I feel like we need to see that. So I was a person who was like, I don't like that, that makeup and shit. But now I'm like,
Right.
mascara right here.
Like this guy kill you right there. And
Put a
also, I
little
felt
mold
like
right here, please.
and I felt like in our house, diversity is key. Like you have to make sure that you have every element because I feel like being gay is your spirit. So that doesn't have a color.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
what I mean? Your soul is pure. It doesn't have what we look on the outside. It has nothing to do with your soul.
Child, you have some ugly ass people. Okay. What? House Mother Escada, London. I want to say thank you so much. I
No
am truly
problem. Thank
honored.
you.
And I really know this interview is going to help a lot of people, and many blessings to you. I will see you soon, hopefully.
Yes. I see. You know, we'll be back at it again.
Yes,
Love you
yes.
guys.
All right,
Thank
bye,
you.
London.
Bye,
Thank you.
babies.